Good evening, I'm Andrew Cheng.
I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Tonight, pain and vindication for the mother of Colten Boushie.
I did not deserve to be treated the way I was treated.
He was shot and killed, and when the RCMP went to tell his mother, they asked if she had been drinking.
Systemic racism has plagued this case since day one.
The way they were treated was unacceptable.
The unprecedented findings of an independent watchdog. Canada's national police force racially discriminated against the mother of a shooting victim.
Also tonight, as older Canadians roll up their sleeves, the challenge of convincing young people the danger remains.
We're seeing people much sicker in their 30s and 40s than we saw in the last wave.
And 42 clicks at 28 below.
You have lots of time to think about life, during the run.
We're on the finish line of one of the world's most extreme marathons. This is The National.
Only in the past year, during a time of reckoning on racism and policing, were the deep roots of systemic racism acknowledged within Canada's National Police Force.
And for the family of Colten Boushie, there is now validation for what his mother has said for 5 years, that the RCMP discriminated against her when police told her her son was dead.
Our family was never going to give up. We were not going to be swept away and treated such as less as human beings.
Boushie was the young Indigenous man shot dead when he and others drove onto a white farmer's property in Saskatchewan. This weekend, an unprecedented finding from the police watchdog says the Mounties mistreated his mother on the basis of race.
Now Debbie Baptiste is speaking out, and as Bonnie Allen reports, she is no longer alone in her calls for change.
This is really hard on me.
Yet she found the strength, just as she has for nearly 5 years.
We've been waiting for this justice for a long time.
Ever since her son Colten Boushie was shot and killed by a white farmer and police came to her home.
I did not deserve to be treated the way I was treated.
The new watchdog report sheds light on how RCMP handled its investigation into the shooting of Colten Boushie by Gerald Stanley. The conclusion, it was generally professional and reasonable. As for how police treated the family, a key finding is that officers racially discriminated against Debbie Baptiste at her home on Red Pheasant Cree Nation after the shooting.
After they told her her son was dead, they had the nerve to smell her breath.
The commission found officers asked Baptiste if she had been drinking and told her to get it together. The RCMP officers involved dispute that, insisting they were compassionate.
This is how RCMP members believe you show compassion and respect to an Indigenous woman who has just lost her son. You swarm her house, you search her house, you call her a drunk, and you call her a liar.
In the official response, RCMP Commissioner Brenda Lucki accepted there was discrimination at Baptiste's home.
What are you going to do rather than just saying, we agree with what's been found? Big deal. Brenda Lucki, do something.
Last year, Lucki acknowledged that systemic racism does exist in the force.
We need to do better, and I will be tasking Minister Blair and, through him, Commissioner Lucki, to make sure that things move forward in a better way.
On CBC News Network's Power and Politics, Debbie Baptiste and her lawyer explained what they want after all this.
The government needs to enforce them. They need to create some kind of body for accountability, and there has to be a timeline put on it as well.
We need a change. Time to start listening to Indigenous people, and we say there's discrimination going on within the police force. Step up and do something.
So Bonnie, Debbie Baptiste, Indigenous leaders, the Prime Minister all seem to agree. They're all calling for change. What's the RCMP saying?
The RCMP says it has already implemented most of the recommendations in the report, but the watchdog has no power to police that. So while the Boushie family and First Nations leaders say the review provides some satisfaction, they're not confident it will solve the problem of systemic racism.
Okay, Bonnie Allen in Regina, thanks.
The Ottawa Police Service is temporarily banning the use of what it calls dynamic entries, also known as no-knock raids.
It does present a risk to the public, and it does present a risk to our members.
The controversial practice came under scrutiny following an investigation by CBC's Fifth Estate. Ottawa Police says its decision follows a year-long review. The department is the first in Canada to formally announce a suspension of the practice. There is a terrible story developing in the United States tonight, the second mass shooting in less than a week. Police now say 10 people are dead after a suspect opened fire this afternoon at a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado.
My heart goes out to the victims of this incident, and I'm grateful for the police officers that responded.
Now, one of those police officers, the first on the scene, is among the dead. Video emerged shortly after the shooting began.
He went in the store.
Right down there.
Oh my God. Guys, we got people down inside King Soopers.
So that horror captured during a live stream from a witness. Those inside described the terror when the first shots went off. One woman was just buying fruit with her son.
He just said, "Nicholas, run." And he said, "No, don't move." I said, "Run right now. We have 3 seconds." And he started running, and then he shot towards us like we could feel it, and we just kept going. We just ran.
Now, video showed a shirtless man handcuffed being escorted from the building by officers. Officials won't confirm if that is their suspect, but they do say they have one person who was injured in custody. They won't be giving any more updates on the situation until the morning. Another trial in China, shrouded in secrecy, ended without a verdict. For Michael Kovrig and fellow Canadian Michael Spavor, the future remains unclear. Diplomacy may be the only tool left to free them. And as Evan Dyer explains, Canada is trying to turn up the pressure.
Almost the whole Western diplomatic corps turned out at the Beijing courthouse, though none were allowed to enter.
The United States stands shoulder to shoulder with Canada in calling for the immediate release of their 2 citizens from arbitrary detention.
Kovrig's wife said the show of unity was heartening.
Michael and Michael Spavor happen to be Canadian, but I think others understand that it could have happened to some other countries as well.
Canada, by assembling a number of countries to pressure China, it is not what diplomatic staff should do.
Chinese officials scolded Canada for recruiting allies and insisted it will change nothing. But China experts say the costs are mounting for Beijing.
It's a show of strength that the West is coming together effectively to stand up against China.
Ong says China's government doesn't like the way the world is lining up against it.
I think it is too early to say that they are regretting their earlier action, but I think the options are becoming rather limited.
Another act of Western unity came today.
These measures reflect our grave concern.
When Canada joined the U.S., EU and UK in applying Magnitsky sanctions on Chinese officials for their involvement in a campaign of persecution against Uyghurs and other Muslim minorities. But Bill Browder, the man who invented those sanctions, says it's a missed opportunity, that Canada could have used them on officials responsible for jailing Kovrig and Spavor.
You have a dictatorship, which is, for political purposes, taken 2 innocent Canadians hostage. And this is a way of responding and doing something to the Chinese that they care about, in which they would feel pain.
One former Canadian ambassador to China says Ottawa should build on momentum in the two Michaels' favor, adding to the support it's already getting from Western countries by trying to recruit Asian democracies like Japan, India, and South Korea. Experts say China is feeling the pressure, but still not enough to make it change course. Evan Dyer, CBC News, Ottawa.
Well, let's turn to the pandemic now, where even with cases rising, even with variants spreading, there is cause for hope. Canada has now administered 4 million doses of vaccine. That's up by 1 million in just the space of 1 week. Now, that doesn't mean 4 million separate people got the shot. Some of those were second doses. But right now, nearly 9% of Canadians have received at least 1 dose. And at last count, high-risk groups were much further along. For those 80 and over, at least 34% have had at least 1 dose. And for those in seniors' homes and long-term care, it's more than 54%. But the vast majority of Canadians, especially younger Canadians, are still facing the virus and its variants without a vaccine to protect them. And as Tom Stagel shows us, hospitals are seeing the consequences.
Everywhere he went, Christopher Wilson spread that smile and a love for cooking that he parlayed into a career at a Mississauga, Ontario retirement home.
He has an infectious laugh. He's a people person. He loves God. He loves his community. He tried to serve them.
It was just last week, at age 29, that he tested positive for COVID-19.
His main symptom was he had a migraine.
3 days later from getting his result, he passed away.
A cruel reminder of the real risk still facing younger adults, with Chief Public Health Officer Dr. Theresa Tam cautioning infection rates are now highest among those aged 20 to 39. As the prospect of vaccination remains months away for many young adults, the danger of those highly contagious variants grows greater.
We are seeing younger people be needing hospitalization or ICU admission.
Just look at these recent x-rays, all from patients in their 30s and 40s, all showing a buildup of fluid in the lungs, a sign of severe COVID-related pneumonia. Images shared by Dr. Kashif Pirzada with a warning.
I'm seeing several of these every shift now, and my colleagues are mirroring the same, that we're seeing people much sicker in their 30s and 40s than we saw in the last wave.
The variants, I think, is a huge thing in terms of people being younger and sicker.
As restrictions ease, doctors are urging Canadians not to act like the risk has in any way disappeared.
This is now a preventable disease if we can reduce transmission for long enough to get people to get the vaccines in their arms.
Chris Wilson's sisters now only have memories and this advice.
They have the stigma that you're younger, you're safe, and it's not the case because he was as healthy as can be.
They hope their message will save others this devastating grief. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, Toronto.
There was reassuring new research from the U.S. today about the AstraZeneca vaccine. A late-stage study found it effective across all age groups, and critically, it was found to be safe. Christine Birak breaks down the data.
AstraZeneca's U.S. clinical trial is over, and the interim results are better than many expected.
It's our ticket out of the pandemic, and now we have another good tool for this. We need to get those vaccines into arms.
The American study included more than 32,000 people. In a statement, AstraZeneca said the two-dose vaccine has a 79% efficacy rate in preventing mild illness and 100% effective in stopping severe COVID-19 and hospitalization. Researchers say the results held up across different ethnic groups and for all ages, including people over 65.
I don't think there's any real advantage of getting Moderna or Pfizer over AstraZeneca.
Still, after shifting recommendations, some seniors are hesitant. Based on available data, Canada's National Advisory Committee on Immunization, or NACI, first advised people over 65 not to get the shot. Then that recommendation changed, but still prioritized Pfizer and Moderna. Now, based on new data, the advice will likely change again, and doctors are hoping they'll finally set the record straight.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the message needs to be very straightforward.
Nor did the U.S. study find any evidence of the rare blood clotting issues reported in Europe that led several countries there to temporarily stop using AstraZeneca.
I think it's wise to stop and check, but the idea that any of these vaccines are likely to be defective because of those problems, especially in those small numbers that have been reported, is ridiculous, quite frankly.
Ontario announced today it'll be rolling out the AstraZeneca vaccine in more pharmacies and doctors' offices.
It is safe, it works, it prevents hospitalizations, and it saves people's lives. And so, yes, I actually am planning to receive the AstraZeneca vaccine, and I will do it in front of a camera.
As infections rise, health officials are hoping more Canadians will now take the first shot they're offered. Christine Birak, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, more than 200 Toronto pharmacies now offer AstraZeneca shots as part of a new pilot project, but some areas have few, if any, participating locations. Today, Mayor John Tory pledged to fix that.
We have made the list of these additional locations available to the province to ensure effective and equitable coverage in some of the areas hardest hit by COVID-19.
CBC News found that one northwest Toronto area, largely low-income and racialized, is basically a pharmacy desert. And the city continues to add new cases in what many call a third wave. Toronto posted another 509 new infections today, with health officials warning of a growing outbreak.
So we have been bringing you the stories of some of those hard-hit neighborhoods struggling with limited resources, two of which pushed for priority vaccine status and won. Today, shots were handed out in one brand new community vaccination site. Ioana Meliodas was there.
Well before the doors opened, people lined up in a community that could really use it. This is such a bright spot.
So I have to come and take my own. If I'm alive, I have to do it.
Among the first here too, the Souza family. 64-year-old Anna works as a nanny of 4.
My mom's so much happy because come early.
Early and not soon enough. The northwest neighborhood of Lawrence Heights is a COVID hotspot, a lower income area with a higher number of essential workers, many who live with several family members in close quarters, and why the case was made to prioritize them for vaccines.
They've been out on the front lines, working in grocery stores, working in TTC, doing a lot of different jobs that kept this city going. And I think it's really important that we say, we care about you.
In the next phase of Ontario's vaccine rollout, vulnerable areas like this one are among those next in line. This is a pilot project that will start by serving people 60 and up, but as supply increases, the hope is that anyone within the area's postal code will be eligible for a shot. In Thorncliffe Park, where COVID rates have been the highest in the city, tens of thousands of residents will soon be within walking distance of a new vaccination site that opens Wednesday. This entire floor of a former Target store is almost ready. Community leaders partnered with a nearby hospital to transform the space.
We're trying to avoid any sort of lineup outside.
Bringing the vaccine close is critical.
We want to remove the barriers. And so rather than having people travel 15 kilometers, we wanted to make sure that it was within their own community.
Back in Lawrence Heights, Souza's had her shot, her granddaughter by her side to document it.
It's good because I wouldn't want anyone in my family to get COVID. So it just makes me feel good.
It is a shot of hope that means they can all breathe a little easier.
And Ioana is outside that future vaccine site in Thorncliffe Park. So, Ioana, it's now on the city's official list of immunization sites, and I'm curious as to why that detail is so critical.
It's critical, Adrian, because it means more vaccine supply for the residents here and for the site here. Originally, the supply was going to come only from the local hospital that helped this community advocate and get this site up and running. Now it means if it's on that official list, it can also access the City of Toronto's vaccine supply. Now, if that vaccine supply is reliable, they could administer up to 10,000 doses here a day. That would get the people here immunized fairly quickly, as well as people in the surrounding areas.
That would be fantastic. Ioana, thank you.
Well, New Brunswick is vaccinating teachers and other school staff across the province this week. Schools are among the 16 locations being used as clinics rotate across the province. In all, about 4,500 staff are expected to get their shots. The clinics are part of the province's plan to see students return to the classroom full-time on April 12th. Now, some parents are getting a glimpse of what the next school year holds. In 2 regions of the country, boards of education are asking them how they'd like their kids to learn. But as Deanna Sumanak-Johnson reports, many of those parents say it's too soon to decide.
Like many parents in the pandemic, Sarah Abdo has learned to expect the unexpected. But when her school board asked her to decide now if her daughter will continue virtual school or attend in person in September, she was stunned.
It's too early to decide or to think about anything now. Things are changing, and I don't have an answer.
On its website, the Ottawa Colten District School Board said, "We're planning for a majority of students to return to in-person learning with enhanced safety precautions in place, but that it allows that for some students, online may be the preferred learning method."
At least one other school board in Ontario and the Edmonton Public School Board have also already asked parents to state their preference. They all say getting an early sense of the numbers allows for better planning.
But some are disappointed that virtual learning is even on the table for fall.
Instead of preparing for virtual learning, why are school boards across this country along with the provincial and territorial governments, not increasing the safety standards in schools and classrooms across the nation.
Calgary Catholic School District has not yet asked families to choose, but it says virtual school will remain an option next school year and beyond.
For some students and for some families, it's been a blessing. And it's been something that even as we transition out of a world of COVID-19, it's something that I truly believe they still would want to be part of.
For Sarah Abdo, that choice was too tough to make this early.
We know that if we don't submit the form, that means she's going in person. But we didn't have the courage to actually write the in-person decision in that form.
She's hoping her school board will allow them to change their mind if COVID-19 is not under control by September. Deanna Sunak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
Rescues and evacuations are underway in Australia as floodwaters continue to rise. Next on The National, why the next 24 hours is so crucial.
Canadians started wearing cloth masks a year ago. Is it time for an upgrade? So what are you telling me, that you could provide every Canadian with an N95 mask if they wanted one?
3, 2, 1, go! And a grueling marathon on ice.
This is one of the most extreme competitions on the planet.
We're at the finish line in Siberia, and we're back at 2.
Welcome back. We are watching a disaster unfolding in southeastern Australia. Torrential rain continues to cause record flooding, destroying homes and forcing thousands to flee. And as Susanna De Silva shows us, it's just the latest natural disaster folks there have been dealing with.
The rain has been unrelenting and overwhelming, ripping entire houses from their foundations. Fast-moving flash floods have caught people off guard. This man spent a day trapped in his car, hoping the water would recede.
The river, I've never seen rubbish like, they'll go as fast as what the ski boats go and some of the race boats. I've never seen it.
The rain started late last week and hasn't stopped. Some areas have seen close to 1 meter of rain since then, and right now more than 10 million people are still under weather warnings.
That's why we worry about we escape or stay here, we don't know.
Close to 20,000 people have been forced out of their homes.
We can probably take 5 crates at a time.
Scrambling to save every member of their household, like this breeder whose 20 dogs had to be rescued.
It's actually unbelievable to see this amount of water, but you know, long as that all the animals and our staff are all okay, that's really all we care about, and everything else is replaceable. You know, this is really sad.
Wild animals have been displaced too. Watch this man helping a stingray that ended up in his garage. Everyone here just trying to cope with this latest disaster. Around this time last year, many of these same areas were on fire, experiencing extreme drought, then a pandemic, and now this.
When you've been through 3 or 4 incidents which are life-changing on top of each other, it can make you feel like you're at breaking point, but please know we're thinking of you.
And it's not over yet. The extreme rain isn't expected to let up until at least Wednesday. Susanna De Silva, CBC News, Vancouver.
Voters in Israel go to the polls tomorrow for the 4th time in 2 years. And as Sasha Petrusik tells us, even though Benjamin Netanyahu is on trial in 3 separate corruption cases, he could win on his COVID vaccine plan.
Israel's ready for a giddy post-pandemic party. Crowding cafes, filling Jerusalem's old market.
We're back to life, like you can see all the people going around.
I have a fever in the last week. Celebrating a vaccination drive that's inoculated more than half the population in record time and an infection rate that's tumbled. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is taking credit for that.
We're coming out of it, and there's not much more.
He's led Israel for 15 years now, longer than anyone else, winning elections or eking out coalitions. This time, he's also on trial for corruption, charges which could mean jail if he doesn't hold on to power. If he does, he could potentially pass new laws to give himself immunity. Netanyahu's banking on Israel's gratitude for defeating COVID. But polls show many voters are tired of him, and that even with right-wing allies, his Likud party may not have enough to form a coalition government. Challengers from Israel's secular center and its religious right are catching voters' attention.
We need a change. We need something new and refreshing.
Netanyahu's claim of a vaccination victory may not be winning them over.
I think what it really does is make people who were already voting for Netanyahu feel more strongly about it, and those who were already voting against him feel more passionately about it.
Leaving Israel happy to move on from COVID, but seemingly set for another unstable coalition government. Sasha Petrusik, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, next, is it time to rethink what kind of mask we're wearing? I thought that was the issue, that there weren't enough N95 masks to go around, even for medical workers. Is that still the case?
That is changing now.
Why some say it's time for a serious upgrade.
And later, we will take you inside one of the world's most grueling marathons. You have never seen a race like this.
Welcome back. Over the past year, we have learned a lot about how masks can keep people safe from COVID-19. But is that cloth or surgical mask you're wearing good enough? Well, tonight we're looking at masks in this country and why there are plenty of people in Canada and even abroad who believe we need to take bolder steps. A year since the first lockdown, and production of one of this pandemic's most valuable commodities is ramping up.
So these are the various fabrics that are used that go into the manufacturing of the N95. And so at the top and the bottom layer, we have spun-bond polypropylene, and they're doing their first round of quality control before they go over to our packaging area.
But looking forward, an open question, will these masks ever find a market in Canada? Across the world, concern sparked by new variants has prompted a second look at masking.
At minimum, wear a mask. Then you want it to fit better. So put a cloth mask over.
As of today, people in Bavaria will be required on public transport and in shops to wear the FFP2 masks like this one.
In parts of Germany, the FFP2 mask, that's their equivalent of the N95, is now mandatory. And they're not the only ones making them a must.
My name is Katharina Reich and I am Chief Medical Officer of Austria.
Austria has made N95-style masks a requirement for everyone over 14.
In order to reopen the country, to be safer in this reopening period.
Since the pandemic began, masking recommendations have centered on the idea of protecting others. My mask protects you, your mask protects me. Austria decided to shift that thinking.
The FFP2 mask does provide a better protection to the person wearing it, which is also an incentive to increase compliance.
But this kind of sweeping change wasn't easy or cheap.
How did you get around that problem?
Supermarket chains have agreed to provide these masks for an extraordinarily low price. We provide 10 masks for everyone who is 65 or older. And we have also provided free masks for the homeless shelters in order to ensure access to these masks for everyone.
All possible because last summer, Austria started producing their own. And around the same time, similar plans were underway in Canada, too.
It is important for Canada to be able to rely on domestic sources of production.
Left scrambling for PPE early in the pandemic, provincial and federal governments vowed never again. And several companies did answer the government's call, including a new kid on the block, Vitacor, based in Burnaby, BC.
So if you want to come in right here, you can see where the headbands are actually being put on each respirator.
When the pandemic hit, Mikhail Moore used his background in engineering to build a mask-making facility from the ground up. What are your production numbers right now, as of today, for those N95s?
So right now we produce 4.4 million per month KN99 respirators, which are our newest respirator, and then over 2 million per month KN95 respirators.
In case you're wondering, KN95 is his own company's twist on the American N95 standard. Same quality, green-lit by Health Canada, but different name.
And many other companies like his are ramping up production too, making supply largely a problem of the past.
I thought that was the issue, that there weren't enough N95 masks to go around, even for medical workers. Is that still the case?
That is changing now. Obviously, with the scale-up that's occurred, we're producing even more respirators than are required by frontline workers at this point. And so we are kind of opening the doors to the general public to be able to wear respirators as well.
So what are you telling me, that you could provide every Canadian with an N95 mask if they wanted one?
I think that we're getting to a place now where hopefully we can see citizens be able to purchase these as well if they want them.
But to this day, in this country, unless you're at higher risk of severe illness or exposure, these masks aren't part of the plan.
We are recommending that you consider a 3-layer non-medical mask, which includes a middle filter layer.
ER Dr. Kashif Pirzada says it's time for that to change.
What is it that you would have this government do starting today?
Tell the public to really up their mask game. I think what German and Austrian authorities have done by mandating is really being proactive. They're really getting ahead of this, whereas we in Canada have always been reactive. We've always done things a little too late, a little too little, actually.
Pirzada co-founded a group called Masks for Canada.
We are a grassroots volunteer group of physicians and citizens. We promote mandating masks in all indoor spaces.
Early in the pandemic, they pushed to make masking mandatory. More recently, they co-wrote an open letter to the government, making a clear demand: account for aerosol transmission of this virus.
If we remember, a very related virus, SARS-1, was airborne as well. Even if it's not airborne, if we know it's more transmissible, at least we can be more proactive about it. A higher quality mask may help.
So what are some concrete steps that you would have the Canadian government start to do to move this in the right direction?
Distribute and require advanced masks like N95 in crowded workplaces or at-risk workplaces, and help people get them to do common grocery shopping and other things. We're not far from mass vaccinations. We just need to buy 2 to 3 months.
We reached out to Health Canada to ask why their guidelines haven't changed. They tell us public health is aware of recent discussion around the use of N95s in the community, but says it will not be changing its stance on masking, as there is no evidence to warrant a change.
When you're out and about, what do you wear?
So I wear an ear loop version of our N95, and so that's a version that we developed specifically for everyday use.
Would it be a good idea for Health Canada to advise the rest of Canada, I mean all Canadians, whether you're going onto the subway, going to a grocery store, that they ought to be wearing N95s?
Obviously, it's important for us to make sure that we're servicing those medical and frontline workers first, but at the same time, we want to protect Canadians, and we want to make sure that everyone has a chance to have adequate filtration for the masks that they're wearing.
So a couple of things here. One, the mask you wear is up to you, and any mask is offering you protection that you wouldn't have had otherwise. But on the idea that different masks offer different levels of protection, we visited a lab and we did some testing. So I'm breathing normally right now. What does this tell us?
This is telling us you're getting a fit factor of 2.
Is that good or bad?
That's bad. To get an N95 to pass on this kind of a test, you need a fit factor of 100. With your fit factor of 2, you're only stopping about half the particles.
But what are you telling me? That this isn't protecting me?
This is not meant to protect you. This is meant to protect me.
And you can watch for that tomorrow night on the...
I will. I'll be right here. Up next, though, we are on the finish line in Siberia.
This is one of the most extreme competitions on the planet.
What goes through your mind while running across the world's deepest lake? We'll join the racers next. Welcome back. This next story will take you to one of the great natural wonders of Russia. Lake Baikal carves a massive line of blue across a remote swath of southern Siberia. Its sheer size and extraordinary depth can be a little hard to wrap your head around. And in the middle of a punishing winter, it is the site of one of the most grueling races on Earth. Chris Brown traveled across Russia over 5,000 kilometers to bring you this tale of sport taken to the extreme.
They call it the Pearl of Siberia, Lake Baikal, so deep and vast it holds more water than all of North America's Great Lakes put together. It's the backdrop for the ultimate challenge of the Baikal Ice Marathon. This is one of the most extreme competitions on the planet. A 42-kilometer foot race in the middle of a Siberian winter on the frozen surface of the world's deepest lake. The lake bottom is an astonishing 1,500 meters below Baikal's trademark crystal clear ice. We met some first-time marathoners who arrived early for a test run. Dmitry Atarshikov is a 38-year-old Moscow eye surgeon.
I hear the voice of Baikal, I suppose.
What's the voice of Baikal?
First I heard like a bird voice, I don't know. Then it's like an echo.
Also from Moscow is Alexei Smirnov, an oil executive.
When I was running, it was like on the right side it was sun, on the left side is the moon. So like you're running like in the center of the earth, or like you feel the power.
Part of the experience is connecting with those who live near Baikal. Nikolai Alexeyev is a member of the Buryat nation, the indigenous people of the region.
Baikal is a living being, and Baikal is sacred, and people do communicate with Baikal and do worship it.
Although Baikal is frozen solid, that doesn't mean the ice is still. That's what it sounds like as it cracks and shifts, almost supernatural. For non-runners, the best way to get around is by hovercraft. We're with race organizer Alexei Nikiforov, who says Baikal always has surprises.
We accept it as it is. We don't predict.
Nikiforov dreamed up the idea of the ice marathon 16 years ago as a way to get attention about the need to preserve Baikal's pure, clean water.
The ice is at least 50 centimeters thick, which is enough to carry 12 tons.
No runner has ever fallen through, but the biggest risk this year wasn't the ice, but the pandemic.
6 centimeters.
Did you ever think of canceling this year's marathon because of COVID?
I decided to keep it running, to have less, though we had this time still 4 times more applications.
In fact, almost every competitor we met had been sick with COVID at some point. Anastasia Addington Barker, a 37-year-old mother of 4 who's running with her trainer Stanislav, says both she and him got COVID in September.
And we had COVID, yeah, both. 3 weeks, 4 weeks for recovery. It was quite hard, very hard, because you couldn't breathe properly.
As the sun sets, the forecast is for -28 at start time, with clear skies, almost perfect conditions. Race day arrives.
Fantastic.
Байкальский марафон, 42 километра впереди, настрой позитивный.
Conditions over the first 21 kilometers are favorable, with either clear ice or minimal snow. It's as if everyone is running on cruise control. How is it out there?
It was pretty awesome.
How's it going, Dmitry?
Rather fine, but not my best condition.
At the midway point, Dmitry, the eye surgeon, is concerned, though. The wind is blowing snow towards the end of the course. 3.5 hours after the start, the first runner approaches the end, and by then the clean ice is long gone. Just staying upright in the deep snow is a challenge. Turns out the first person across is a household name in Russia, pro soccer star Alexei Smertin, a former national team captain.
That's why I know last 10-12K was bad.
Among the runners we followed, Dmitry makes it across first.
Hi everybody, I'm alive.
Oh! Later, Alex, the oil executive, arrived, exhausted.
It's amazing. Wow. You have lots of time to think about life, you know, during the run.
Anastasia completed the half marathon, and everyone got to celebrate their achievement at a ceremony afterwards. A triumph over what many, at least in Russia, would argue is the greatest lake in the world. Chris Brown, CBC News on Russia's Lake Baikal.
As you saw there, many consider Lake Baikal to be sacred, but it's also seeing a growing influx of tourists. Chris takes a look at what that means for the region coming soon on The National.
Okay, well, going for a bike ride is a little less extreme than what you just saw, but it's so popular, those bikes are getting hard to find.
For the next 12 months, I don't think that the bicycle industry is going to be able to catch up with the demand.
Why the shortage could last beyond the pandemic. Welcome back. Cycling has become the latest pandemic big business. Seeing it as a safe way to get active and outdoors, cooped-up Canadians have been buying up bicycles. But as Jacqueline Hansen tells us, getting a set of wheels can be an uphill climb.
Vancouver's Side Saddle Bike Shop is so busy, they stopped answering the phone last spring.
Due to the COVID bike boom, we are receiving over 400 inquiries per day.
We kept thinking we would have to change that message and go back to answering the phone, but it never calmed down. Come on in.
While business is booming, inventory is about half what it's supposed to be.
A lot of what we would plan to sell in April is already gone.
The store is ordering as many more bikes as it can, but there are roadblocks.
We have one shipment that's waiting entirely on left front brake levers.
Some parts can't get made fast enough to satisfy the COVID-induced frenzy. HLC Canada imports bikes, parts, and accessories from Asia and distributes them to stores in Canada. It says its suppliers have ramped up production.
A factory could be running, you know, let's say used to run on a 12-hour schedule, and now they're running 18 or 24 hours a day.
But there simply aren't enough hours in a day, and building more factories won't happen until there's confidence the boom isn't a blip. Plus, raw materials are in high demand, and so are the shipping containers to transport the finished goods to market.
We're not just in a bike boom here, we're in a durable consumer goods boom. And so that's what's filling up those containers and causing a big stress on the shipping companies.
Quebec-based Cycles Da Vinci makes its aluminum frames in Canada and imports other parts from overseas. It's producing as many bikes as it can, but its retail partners want even more.
For the next 12 months, I don't think that the bicycle industry is going to be able to catch up with the demand.
At Toronto's Metro Cycle, spring usually looks like a fully stocked store. Not this year.
It kind of, keeps you up at night a little bit when you have customers coming in, they look for bikes and then they leave. So we're kind of waiting.
But shop owners expect some bikes to arrive soon and more throughout the summer.
We will have bikes, they just have to wait. It's not going to be the end of the world. We're trying our hardest here.
Patience the key for enthusiasts and the industry as cycling's wild ride continues. Jacqueline Hansen, CBC News, Toronto.
And when we come back, 1,000 little moments of gratitude. One woman's mission to thank the truck drivers on the front line of the pandemic. Beverly Perrin and her husband began a little project last April, writing thank you cards to truck drivers. So fast forward a year later, now she has written over 1,000 cards, and tonight her gratitude is our moment.
I saw a couple of stories on CBC. They were interviewing truckers and they were saying how badly they were treated. I just started buying thank you cards over at the dollar store, 20 at a time. I would go behind the stores and catch the truckers and give them thank you cards. And I would take out 75, 100 cards every 3 or 4 weeks. My husband comes with me. It's just fun. Other than a few truckers, I don't see the same truckers every time. When I first started doing it, they just kind of look at me like, really? Like one trucker asked me, how much do I pay you? After yesterday, I've handed out over 1,000. I write the same thing. I put, thank you so much for bringing supplies to our stores. Stay safe. God's blessing on you always. Love, Beverly Perrin, a very grateful senior.
And a great Canadian.
Love it.
So Beverly told our producer Eliza a very funny story that when she meets the truckers, they're like, I can't believe you gave me a card, thank you. And she says, I can't believe that you're pulling, you know, sometimes 16-hour shifts to do this, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's this lovely exchange.
Yeah, well, and she's pretty determined. I mean, you heard her mention how she's sort of accustomed to going to seek them out. You know, she'd drive behind big box stores and find them one by one. She recently found a truck stop that she describes as a trucker jackpot, just
perfect.
one-stop shopping. You get a card, you get a bing, bang, boom, everyone gets a card. It's great. That's the National for this March 22nd. Have a great night.
Good night.